Hello and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4 with me, Bubblebox, and today we're going to start a single player campaign. New game, and we are going to be starting as Germany, and we're going to be starting at the January 1936 start. I think that's kind of the start most people take because it enables you to prepare your own armies, to prepare your own defences, to prepare your own industry, navy and air force for the gathering storm ahead. Yes, we're going to be playing as the Nazis, as the Third Reich, Adolf Hitler, dictator, fascist and totalitarian regime. And I'll tell you why we're going to be playing Germany in a moment. So I have played this game a little bit already. Played a couple of multiplayer games, which basically all end up, all the multiplayer games, you just, everyone goes to war right at the start, basically, no matter what. That's how it always end up. But I do actually find the single player games a little bit more interesting because you can kind of follow things a little bit more the way you want them to go. And in this particular playthrough, I'm going to be playing as Germany. The reason I'm playing as Germany is that everything's kind of centralized in one area, whereas for other countries like United Kingdom, Japan to a certain extent, France to a certain extent as well, and even Italy to, well, less of an extent, things tend to be a bit more spread out and more difficult to manage. But with Germany, everything at the start at least is pretty easy to manage, which is why I'm going to play Germany. And also, I think as a playthrough on the channel, I think I want to play Germany anyway. Why wouldn't I? So we're going to do it on regular difficulty and historical AI focuses. Now I'm going to play historical as much as I can, or should I say as much as the AI lets me, because the AI will be making decisions as to the land grab that's going to be leading up to the World War. So the first thing we're going to do is set our national focus, and the first national focus we're going to do is we're going to immediately try and grab the Rhineland so that we can demilitarize that, or sorry, remilitarize, should I say, that area which was caused to be demilitarized at the end of World War One. So, and we don't like that very much, so we want to put our units in there. The treaty says we can't, but we're just going to do the damn thing and see what the consequences are of doing that. So we're going to put that up first. Then we'll set our researches. We've got 4 researches. We can go along to 5 if we decide to go along that route, but we're mainly going to go for early industry. We're going to be definitely taking the oil plant to try and get some synthetic oils built up. So we'll grab that first. We're also going to go for construction, I think. Yep. And then we're definitely going to get basic machine tools. And finally, we'll get electronic mechanical engineering, which will reduce our research time just a little bit. So we'll grab that as well. All of those things will help us out no end in the future. Now, as far as our factories are concerned, a lot of people go for civilian factories early on. I'm just going to try it a little bit different. I probably should build a few civilian factories to start with, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to start with is 4 oil refineries. I'm going to put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 right there. We'll build some oil refineries first of all, because I am going to try and rush the land grab. And to get to the land grab, like to get, you know, to get Czechoslovakia and to get the Austria early, and even Yugoslavia perhaps, and the eastern kind of states as well. You need a big army, and need a big army quickly. So that's what I'm going to be going for. So yeah, so we're going to be doing oil first of all. And as far as our army is concerned, well, we're going to be whacking a whole load into infantry equipment. We're going to be needing to fill that up straight away. And I'm just going to go to the bottom here because I don't want to build any more heavy cruisers for now. I know they take a long time, and if I haven't got heavy cruisers, I haven't got heavy cruisers. I don't care. And basically, my winning conditions for this game is to take the Brits out of the war and take the Russians out of the war. Once I've done that, it's game over. All right, and we've won. Or if we get that far, we might be defeated before then. I don't know. I'm not going to build any destroyers either. So we're going to get rid of the destroyers, and we're going to build all subs. All subs, and we shall put them out in, let's just get that up real quick. Oh no, we don't want that. Get back to there. That's it. And we shall put them here in Mecklenburg, because, and the reason I'm putting them into Mecklenburg is I want them behind this area where the Brits can't get at them, because if you have them, it seems to me if you have them in these ports in the front here, then as soon as you end up in a war with the Brits start bombing these areas and will start damaging your ships. I might even have to bring them back further. I'm not sure. Of course, the downside of bringing especially your submarines back that far is that it reduces the range at which they can destroy enemy vessels in the open seas. So, but we'll put them in there for now and see how that works out. Now, as far as the rest of our units are concerned, we're going to want quite a lot of artillery, and I'm going to go quite heavy on the artillery because artillery is really important and it's very strong. So we'll whack probably just a section there, and the rest is going to go into support equipment, which we're going to need a lot of. And once the support equipment is filled up, we'll start put some more artillery. The tanks and motorized we're going to leave as they are because we just haven't got enough oil to produce them efficiently at the moment. We will be building a lot of tanks later on. Fighters we're just going to leave there. Close air support we're going to leave there as well for now. I'm not going to build any more tactical bombers, not at the moment. So we're going to actually get rid of that, which will give us another factory, which we'll put into, oh, does it? Yeah, oh, it's already gone up here into support equipment. So that's what we're going to be set up doing for right now as far as our factories are concerned. And I'm not going to import this oil. We're going to be building oil facilities at the start to make up for that lack of oil there and keep our civilian factories powering away. Right. No national focus. I thought I'd set the Rhineland. Did I not set the Rhineland? No, we're going to set the Rhineland as our national focus. So we're going to be trying to take over, or remilitarise, should I say, the Rhineland, which was demilitarised at the end of the World War I in the Treaty of Versailles, of course. So we're going to be wanting that back because we do not like not being able to put our army where we want to put our army on our land. So that's what we're going to be going for. First of all, the land grab begins with this area here just east of Luxembourg. So I think that's pretty much everything set up. We'll start the game rolling on 2 times, I think. Now, we'll do our ships in a second because we're not going to have to worry too much about being attacked at this early stage of the game. But what I will do is, first of all, I'll grab them 3 tanks. I've got 3 tank divisions already. Oh, hold on. I've just realised what I have forgotten to do, and that's build any units. Right. Okay, so we're going to train, first of all, a whole stack of infantry units. And we're going to put them on 1 just so that I know how many I'm producing. And we'll bring them out into, it doesn't really matter where you bring them out, we'll just bring them out kind of centrally. Brandenburg is probably as good a place as any. And we're going to build a lot of them, so we're just going to add a whole bunch of infantry to start with. In fact, I'm going to build as many as I can, and the reasons for doing that is I want to build as big an army, as big of an army, as quickly as I can so that we can do the land grab, and that brings us up to 45 divisions of infantry. So we'll do that first. Now also I'm going to change the priorities here, and I'm going to give high equipment priority to new units and low equipment priority to reinforcements. Reinforcements will reinforce to your units already on the field, and this one will make you more units more quickly, should I say. We'll prioritize these units when I want to get these kicked out into my army as fast as possible. Upgrades, we'll leave that on medium because we are going to want our tanks to be as upgraded as possible. We are upgrading currently. I think we're upgrading. We might just be producing light tanks. I'm not sure. We'll check that out later. But that's all we're going to do for the army. We will start to build tanks later on, or very shortly in fact. But for the moment, it's all infantry at the start of the game because we're going to want a mass army as soon as possible. So now I think we are definitely set up. So we'll start the game rolling on 2 times speed. I'm just going to keep it on 2 times speed for the moment while I set a few other things up. The first thing we're going to do is get these 3 tanks over, probably just put them over here, and we're going to make an army, and we're going to give them a leader, and the leader of those 3 tanks is going to be, where is he? Manstein, because he is a fortress buster and he's a panzer leader and he's a trickster as well, and he's a panzer leader, so he's going to have the 3 tanks. I could have chosen Rommel, but I'm going to choose von Manstein because I want him to have a really strong army under his control. So we're going to have him as the leader right there, and we'll put him on aggressive mode as well. I'm hoping to be able to send at least 2 and hopefully 3 of those to the Spanish Civil War when it breaks out quite shortly, in fact. Now, as far as the rest of our units are concerned, what I'm going to do is grab quite a few of them. So we'll grab 1, 2, 5, 7, 7, 10 just to start with, and we'll make another army. And this one we shall have led by, who should we grab? I think I want to get a good one good infantry army for to defend kind of the west really, and to help just in case anything happens with France. So we're going to give this to probably, there's someone that's good at logistics and stuff. In fact, no, the logistics guy probably needs to be better on the Eastern Front. So maybe I'll give this to Rommel actually, and we'll give him some tanks later on. Or Guderian. We'll save Rommel, we'll give it to Guderian. Guderian, I'm not sure how you pronounce that in German, but we'll have him as the leader of these guys. These guys are quite good, they've already got regular training, so they're already sort of level 3 training. So they're not too shabby, and we'll put them on aggressive as well. And what we'll do, we shall put them on the border. We'll set them up and put them on the border with La France, I think. So let's have a quick check. What am I doing? Oh, let's grab the army first of all. I've got to remember who these people are. And we shall just put them on the front line down here. We're not going to give them any orders or anything. We'll just make them move over to the front line down there, and we'll leave the rest of the units for right now. Now one other thing I do want to do is I just want to sort my navy out. So we'll just select navy, and sometimes I confuse myself as what to do here. And we're going to get everything into... Oh no, I didn't want to do that, did I? No, let's just select everything first of all. And I want them all to be in, I think, this naval base. So it's control right click, I think. Yeah, I want them all in this naval base. And I want them all to move here as well. So they will all move over there. And I want my surface ships all to be in one big armada, I think. Oh, they have to be in the same base first. So I'm just going to have to wait for them to just get into that same base. And once we've got enough... prestige points, we can start working on our government and our officials. But oh, it looks like they're already there, so let's just quickly check. Now, can we do this now? So just grab them all. Oh, are we all in here? Yes, we are all in here, aren't we? Yes, okay, so I think now I can... Oh, we're missing somebody. Let's put all our subs, first of all, in the same navy, and we're going to put all our surface ships as well. So all battleships into there, all destroyers into there, all subs together. So that gives me kind of subs and all my surface ships all together in one place, and they are going to have some leaders. And first of all, we'll get the guy that does the wolf pack, that famous German admiral whose name escapes me, but I will see. Here he is, Donitz. Yeah, Karl Donitz is going to be the leader of our wolfpack, and then leader of our surface ships. I think we're going to give this to Admiral Gunther Lütjens, so he shall be in control of our surface ships. So I've put them back behind here. The reason I've done that is because I might even have to bring them back a little bit further to one of these ports back a bit further east, because as soon as you do go to war with England, it seems that England start to bomb the coast, and they will bomb your naval docks and do damage to your ships if you're not careful. Although, you know, even if you've got air superiority, they can get through and do some damage. So that's why I kind of have them beyond here, especially if we manage to defeat Denmark fairly early on in the game as well, which tends to be fairly weakly defended. So I think that's pretty much everything on the go. We'll sort out our air force once we know where we want our air force to go. We'll do that a little bit later. So I'm going to have a quick check on how the army's getting on. So we're going to, well, they're not quite ready yet to deploy, but as soon as they're ready to deploy, I don't care if they're trained up. As soon as they're ready to deploy, like these two are now, so we'll grab those two, I am going to deploy them almost immediately. And I'm just going to move this army to Berlin, just got it separated and ready to go to Spain. So I want to increase my divisions really quickly for two reasons. One is so that I can send 3 divisions to Spain when war breaks out, and the other reason is so that I can do the land grab real quick. And we are halfway to the Rhineland, so we'll speed it up to 3 times just to speed up our research and hopefully hopefully we'll get the Rhineland without having any trouble with England and France. Now there is a small chance that when we do grab the Rhineland, if we decide to go into the Rhineland, then England and France will declare a war against us. It's very rare for that to happen, but it can happen. That's not a disaster if that happens. It just means that we'll have to take France out really, really quickly, which is another reason to build a big army really early on. So we're just going to wait a bit now. As far as anything else is concerned, the plan obviously is going to be taking this area and then grabbing a bit of the Sunderland, I think it's called, here to the west of Czechoslovakia, then taking over the rest of Czechoslovakia, hopefully, Austria first before Czechoslovakia, of course. I'm a bit obsessed with Czechoslovakia for some reason. First of all, Austria, we wanted to annex that, and then Czechoslovakia, and then we'll be looking at Yugoslavia and Poland. And the best scenario for us, and it can happen occasionally, is if Poland has its own faction with Lithuania, with the Eastern Bloc countries here, rather than having a faction with the United Kingdom, because then we can kind of go to war with Poland with impunity without UK attacking us. Whereas if they enter in with a faction with the UK, then we're just at war with kind of the UK straight away. And then we're going to have to make a decision later on whether we're definitely going to want to have to try and take out France early on, and then it's whether to take out the UK first or to take out Moscow first. Now I know there is kind of, well, it's not a bug, but you can attack UK really early with kind of airborne, get air superiority at the beginning of the game, get airborne troops in there, but we're not going to do that because I want to do a proper playthrough with the German Reich as they played in World War II. So how far are off we getting the Rhineland? Not too far, and I'm happy just to speed the game right up now, just to get the Rhineland under our belts before the end of this episode, and hopefully we won't have any mishaps and we won't be going to war with France and the UK too early on in the game. We're also going to be wanting, of course, to ally up with Italy and to turn Spain fascist, which isn't too difficult if you micro your units. Now I'm not going to be microing my units too much in this game because I want to try to make this play out without microing, because it is easier if you micro too much. If it's a small war, I'll probably micro. If it's a big war like against the Soviet Union with a massive front, I'm going to automate most of it and just see how it plays out. So hopefully our researchers are coming along now. Oh, hold on, let's quickly check. Yeah, we need to get all these guys in real quick. Oh, what have I done there? Did I get them all in? I think I did. And there we have the remilitarization of the Rhineland, and there's been no opposition from the UK or Great Britain or France, which is great. That means we can walk into the Rhineland with our units, which is fantastic. And we'll just quickly pause, and then we can move on. Can we get the Anschluss? We can't quite get the Anschluss yet. I'm just going to quickly go back and check the map. Did I get all those units in? Yeah, I got all those units in, and we still haven't got quite enough units for the Anschluss. So we'll just grab, before we grab the hold on, where are we? Before we grab the Anschluss, we're going to have to grab Reichsautobahn, which means gives us a bit better infrastructure in our land. So we'll grab that next. What else? We've got enough. We've got political points for... Could go for a theorist. Probably better. Probably to go for industrial concern first of all. Just while we're doing our early researches, it can help. So we'll take a minus 10% industrial research time. We'll take that as our first one, I think. Apart from that, we shall now move time along, and we shall just be kind of waiting for our army to be as another one we can have. We'll just build a load more infantry. Oh, not like that, we won't. I'll get rid of that. Okay, don't want to do it like that. I want to do it like this. Alright. So we'll build up to 60 for now. 56, 78, 9, 60. Cool. Okay. How many units have we actually got now? 42 divisions at the moment. And our army size is 615. Okay, that's good. That's good. That means as soon as this the Reichsautobahn is finished, we'll be able to do the Anschluss next. So I think that's our setup pretty much complete. So we're ready for action. We're just waiting now for Spain to go to war with itself. And that should happen in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please do leave any comments and any tips below and a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you in the next one.